Now MAGA wants DEI.
Everyone's afraid.
Now they want to be included. Like, now they want affirmative action for them. Like, that's cool.
So you
now.
admit that you want universities to exclude everyone with the radical
because
left.
there's no proof that they're actually being excluded. Because if that, no, there isn't.
96% of contributions from Harvard faculty went to Democrats. What else you got?
Okay, so you...
Yeah, I was treated like an exotic zoo animal. Trust me.
Oh, I'm sure.
The faculty is not conservative, believe me.
Oh, okay. So at Harvard, I just imagine all of these conservative politicians that go there. They go there because they don't feel welcome. They just go there to go there.
What about discriminating against people of color? Can we like keep the, because I agree.
Civilization
Absolutely
worldview.
no one is doing that.
Absolutely they are.
No, they're not.
What
evidence do you have that they're screaming?
I've been on a college campus recently, and I can certainly...
It's about the National African American Museum. It's about so many other things. It's like, it's never enough for them. It's like, it can't just stop with, okay, I want to do this one thing. It's always a test case. It's always a, how far can I get? Because if I can get far enough, then I know I can come after HBCUs.
Stop talking about slavery.
Exactly.
And paint over the Black Lives Matter.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Guys, let's get right into this panel. There's just a lot of garbage that's sent here that needs to be cleared up, and it's always a good video when Scott Jennings' hypocrisy gets called out right to his face. So let's check this out.
People who complained about weaponization are silent now. That Trump is openly signing executive orders saying, investigate this person, take away this tax-exempt status because I don't like this entity. How is that not weaponization, Scott?
Well, I totally disagree with the characterization of it. I think Trump supporters and the people who put him in office would say that he's not turning the government into a weapon. He's turning it into a shield. He's shielding the American people from illegal immigration. He's shielding the American people from having their tax dollars used for ridiculous purposes. All of these things that you mentioned, you may call them weaponization, but a lot of people would say we need a shield against a lot of these bad actors and bad institutions.
You didn't address any of the things that I actually did bring up. I mean, he's saying to American universities, you need to admit a certain number of conservatives.
I'll address the universities.
Or you will lose your tax-exempt status. He is saying that he signed an executive order in the White House saying, investigate 2 individuals who told the truth about the last election and criticized me publicly. That is weaponization.
Regarding the universities, first of all, he's creating, I think, a shield for the Jewish students on campus who have been the victim of horrible anti-Semitism. And he's saying to these universities, you cannot simply screen out all viewpoints that don't adhere to your anti-Western civilization
Absolutely
worldview.
No one is doing that.
Absolutely they are.
No, they're not.
What
evidence do you have that they're screaming?
I've been on a college campus recently, and I can certainly use my eyes and ears. These are hotbeds of anti-American and anti-Western civilization activity, and everybody knows it.
And this is so unbelievable. He just got called out about this. That Trump is a shield for anti-Semitism. Are you effing kidding me? Trump had dinner with Kanye West and Nick Fuentes, knowing exactly who they were. You guys are the party of Marjorie Taylor Greene, who said Jewish space lasers were causing the fires in California. You, Scott Jennings, were defending Elon Musk's Nazi salute. So I'm sorry, it's like, this is unbelievable. And then he just loses all credibility when he doesn't stand up for any other demonized groups of people. They'll get more into that in a second, which was just great to see, and we'll talk about that.
And there's no dissent on these campuses.
Oh, so wait, now MAGA wants DEI.
Everyone's afraid.
Now they want to be included. Like, now they want affirmative action for them. Like, that's cool.
So you
now.
admit that you want universities to exclude everyone with the radical
left. Because
left.
there's no proof that they're actually being excluded. Because if that, no, there isn't.
96% of contributions from Harvard faculty went to Democrats. What else you got?
Okay, so you're talking about contribution. I'm talking about
what people's political
campus,
viewpoints are.
Who is teaching people? So if they were such
I know.
a weapon,
I used to teach there. Believe me.
Okay, so clearly you used to teach there, right?
Yeah, I was treated like an exotic zoo animal. Trust me.
Oh, I'm sure.
The faculty is not conservative. Believe me.
Oh, okay. So
it's probably because you're a smug prick, and I don't believe you. Just like all Republicans always playing the victim. You're probably just an asshole.
At Harvard, I just imagine all of these conservative politicians that go there. They go there because they don't feel welcome. They just go there to go there.
If you're trying to come on here tonight and argue that Harvard is a hotbed of conservatism,
I'm not.
Lord
I'm just saying that they're not. So are we going to do the same thing at Baylor? Are we going to do the same thing at Liberty? Are we going to invite more liberal thought to those universities?
I think if public universities or any university taking public funds is violating the civil rights of Jewish students or actively screening out conservatives and conservative viewpoints, we need to have a conversation.
Or what about discriminating against people of color? Can we like keep the, because I agree that Jewish students should be safe. I agree with that. I think that I become a better debater and a smarter person when I actually get to have discourse with people like you that I don't mostly agree with on the political views. But I also get a seat at the table, and I don't get to be discriminated against, and black people and brown people and queer people also don't. So if we're going to protect one class, can we agree to protect all classes?
What university is doing that? I agree, but what university is doing that?
I just want to know what
What class of people right now on American campuses is facing the kind of pushback that Jewish students are anywhere?
We do know since the affirmative action decision that came down about 18 months ago that the number of people of color who have been admitted to institutions have decreased because that's a policy that actually ensures.
Do you include Asian students in the people of color?
Yeah, their numbers are down too.
Let me just, one of the reasons.
He's so disgusting. He's just so disgusting. He knows that she's obviously mainly talking about black and brown people, you know, black people, Hispanic people, but he had to throw in Asian there because, again, he just cannot support anything that has to do with people of color. He just can't. And it's the reason that she brings it up, and he has to make it so specific. Any other group of people being mistreated in schools, they're not getting mistreated. Jewish kids are standing with Palestinian kids in these protests. He's a lying piece of crap. He does not care about anti-Semitism. Again, he stood by all of this crap. And what Ashley was talking about there is because on this very show, Trump blaming helicopter crashes on what these racists like to call DEI hires, removing pictures of people of color from the White House, including Jackie Robinson. Like, how insecure are you? How insane there has to be something wrong with you. Removing military black generals from their position because, again, DEI hires. That's why. And actually, I love showing this clip because it just shows the hypocrisy so well when any of these topics come up with him. Check this clip out.
Yesterday, when he said that, he wasn't being sarcastic. He wasn't being hyperbolic. He was amplifying a conspiracy theory that I think you would agree puts a target on the backs of Haitian immigrants and that it is based on racism. Would you agree on that?
Anti-black racism would be more pointed.
Do you think that if there were 20,000 Scandinavians that had been sent to Springfield, people would be saying that they're eating cats and dogs and geese?
I'm not going to answer for
Why
him
not?
for his memes or anything else. But I am.
No, but I'm asking you. Do you think that conspiracy is based on racism?
Because I'm not going to answer. I don't know. I don't know.
That was a long pause, Scott. I mean,
because I don't know the answer, and I'm not going to sit here and answer for somebody. I don't talk to Donald Trump about what the motivations are, and I don't answer to you either.
But Scott, what is the answer for you?
But the bottom line is,
you lose credibility when you just cannot stand for other groups of people. And what a surprise. They're people of color, once again. There is anti-Semitism in this country, no doubt, and I'm completely against that. But you just cannot ignore the mistreatment and constant targeting of people of color. People, even with the fewest amount of brain cells working, can't possibly take you serious. And just see you as completely hypocritical. In fact, even worse, a racist. Since you only will stand for one group of people, a certain group of people. And this whole anti-Semitism, it's only on the right. Foundational to what it is to be on the left is to be empathetic of people that are different than you, of all types of people, of different backgrounds, religions, skin colors, anything. So it's insane for him to try to just ignore that this kind of anti-Semitism that is rising and rising is because your party welcomed conspiracies. And it was okay as long as it was against people of color, poisoning the blood of the people. Oh, these people are not really deserving of these jobs. They're DEI hires. It was okay when it was hurting other people. And now that it's increasingly getting worse for Jewish people, now it's a problem for people like Scott Jennings, which, again, I don't think he gives a shit. I think he's just bowing down to Daddy Trump.
reasons that I think this has become the topic du jour this week is because I think we've seen a lot of people who are normally pretty level-headed about this stuff raising the alarm. Let me play what Senator Lisa Murkowski, a Republican, said this week about her fear of what's going on now and of retaliation.
We are all afraid. Okay? It's quite a statement. I'm oftentimes very anxious myself about using my voice because retaliation is real, and that's not right.
You know, you kind of have to let it play out because you can hear it in her voice, what she's talking about. Here's Karl Rove as well. He says there's way too much retribution. He's talking about the Trump tenure thus far. Most of the president's revenge attempts will end badly for him. Republicans could rue the day that they set a new justification for retaliation from Democrats.
I look at who Trump has, targeted, right? Who he's taken on in the last 2 months.
Guys, be prepared. She's about to go off. She's a MAGA nut. She calls herself a centrist, but she's not. She's an absolute fool. Just a nut, a MAGA nut now.
I see Wall Street. I see Harvard, the most elite institution in America. I see gangbangers. And I see a man who may or may not be part of MS-13, but whose wife has accused him multiple times of beating her up, including while she was holding her child. And I see those people as the enemies of Trump that he has successfully attacked. We just had the Passover Seder, and there's a song in Passover called Dayenu, which means it would have been enough. And that's kind of how I feel about this list. Like, it would have been enough if Trump had only taken on Wall Street. It would have been enough if he had only taken on the gangbangers. It would have been enough if he had only started reshoring manufacturing. If he had only gotten rid of this guy who beat his wife up, which, by the way, is a deportable offense. And yet he's done all of these things. And I think most Americans look at that and they say, not that he's weaponizing things, but that he is fighting our fights for us. CNN this morning had a poll. 56% of Americans want every single illegal alien deported. 11 million illegal aliens deported, 56%. It's up from 38% in 2016. Trump is winning this, and he's winning it because people feel like he is fighting for them. The real emergency is that the American people are getting what they want.
I think you're making an interesting point that if...
All right, I have to clarify a few things there. Trump is not fighting Wall Street. This is why he folded his cards after, what, a week or two? He was completely humiliated on the economy. The economy was tanking. 60% chance as of right now that we're going to hit a recession because of that moron. No countries were coming to the table. They all retaliated against him and now are all working with each other and are rolling back working with us. And this polls that she's talking about is complete garbage because it's all about how you word them. Yesterday, if you look at my video, CNN had a poll where when they questioned it in such a way where it was undocumented immigrants who have lived here in the U.S. for 10 years plus, who pay taxes and no criminal record, should they be deported? 63% of people opposed that. Opposed deporting people who've been here 10 years, no criminal record, paying taxes. Which even surprised me because it meant that even a decent amount of Republicans were against deporting them. Because it would be a huge mistake. I'm fine with deporting illegal immigrants who've committed crimes. But like, if you've been here for a long period of time, keeping your head down, doing jobs that Americans don't want to do, especially, I just don't see the issue. Especially if you want the economy to grow. And I'd ask these MAGA pundits about if we deport these 11 million people, what happens to these jobs? And remind them that Trump called those jobs, which I forget, that illegal immigrants do right now, like agriculture, working in factories, food servicing, black jobs. Why do you think he called those black jobs? That's especially terrifying as he tries to remove black history and achievements from everywhere they can find, like the Smithsonian, the White House, schools. they even want to reteach how slavery is being currently taught in schools. Why do you think that is? What is the end game here?
Trump had focused on just those things, maybe everybody would have said it was enough. But actually, he's doing a lot of other things too.
You think the American people care about Harvard?
Like
they care
yes.
deeply.
They
but why?
hate Harvard. What?
Yeah, they hate it because they hate. It's funny because they admire wealth at the same time they hate it. That's what's hilarious about that.
$60 billion endowment, and they're threatening to kill animals because we won't give them $2 billion.
But this is not about Harvard.
It really is.
It's not about Harvard. It's
yeah, I'm just saying, like, the idea, I think the big picture here, and I think this is why there's so much alarm among some of these people that I just mentioned, is that it's not just about this one institution. It's using the one institution as a vehicle to attack the idea of higher education that is not beholden to political interests. And it's also about the National African American Museum. It's about so many other things. It's like, it's never enough for them. It's like, it can't just stop with, okay, I want to do this one thing. It's always a test case. It's always a, how far can I get? Because if I can get far enough, then I know I can come after HBCUs.
Stop talking about slavery.
Exactly.
And paint over the Black Lives Matter.
Thank you. They know it's always another line to go. So it's like, yeah.
Each thing we bring up, you guys keep saying, it's not about that. It's not about that. It's not about that.
Because they're all test cases to do something else worse.
I'm actually not trying to suggest that the idea is to dodge the Harvard issue, but it's to look more broadly at what the ideological objective is. If it were just about Harvard as an institution, he would stop there, but it's clearly not just about Harvard as an institution. It's about institutions in general.
And it's also...
And again, this Harvard thing, there's like a little mini civil war on the right wing where a bunch of people are pissed off at Trump because he's standing with Israel, because these conspiracy theorists in their party, which is the base, not only are they racist, they're anti-Semitic. Those of us that claim you're on the left, we're not anti-Semitic. We're against the complete notion of that. These conspiracy theorists is on the right wing. These people are so stupid. And this is the problem with supporting a party that supports hate and cruelty, is that sooner or later it might come to you. And it is. The anti-Semitism is in the Republican Party and only there.
So clearly about specific people. Like, if you got somebody that go to the Capitol and punch a police officer, and I got video of you punching a police officer, and then we form a committee to find you guilty of punching a police officer, and then you let the police officer puncher go free, and then the person in the committee might have to go to jail themselves. You can't tell me that's based on policy and making America great again. It's not. That is something personal and vindictive. When you going after the dude who went broke selling them damn pillows up and down the television dial, that's you hooking up your homeboy. Stop acting like this is about...
We didn't even bring up Mel Gibson, who got off on a gun charge for domestic violence.
You know,
I mean,
I like that. About the institution as a Big Ten girl, go Buckeyes, national champions. They just recently
had to do it.
I had to.
I went to Michigan State, so we both hate Michigan. That's the good part.
Just let me have my year, okay? But what you just recently saw, the Big Ten formed an alliance because they we know what happens when people try and do overreach. It starts with one, and maybe you feel comfortable with one, but one becomes 3 and 3 becomes 12, and then there is no line anymore. So the Big Ten, which Ohio is in a red state, and Iowa and all these places that are pretty conservative areas, they have formed an alliance, and they were saying if they come after one, they come after all, because they do see Harvard as a test case. So it's not about, I don't think that people should just be able to cross into our country. I understand that most of Americans are with Donald Trump right now on immigration, but what I'm saying is it wasn't enough for him. He is going beyond your list of 3. There are so many people that he is targeting, like January 6 folks, or like Chris Krebs, that is beyond the 3 of enough.
Let me just read what the Circuit Court of Appeals said. This is a judge who was appointed by Ronald Reagan. He said, if today the executive claims the right to deport without due process in disregard of court orders, what assurances will there be tomorrow that it will not deport American citizens and then disclaim responsibility to bring them home? What assurances shall there be that the executive will not train its broad discretionary powers upon its political enemies? So the questions are being asked not just by Democrats, but also by conservatives, by judges who are worried about where this goes next. It's politically expedient right now for you, but the principle, I think, is what people are questioning.
Two things. One, you said it's about institutions more broadly. I agree with you. I think the question you got to ask next is, do these institutions deserve it? I mean, I think the reason that Americans have such low levels of trust in institutions right now is because no one has ever stopped to check them on, why they've had falling trust levels in the first place. And Trump is coming along and asking uncomfortable questions about a number of institutions. Regarding the statement about due process, I just have a fundamental disagreement about the people who are claiming there's no due process in the case of Garcia. Even if you grant, and I do, that he did have a withholding not to go to El Salvador. He went to immigration courts twice. He had a deportation order. He was in the country illegally. This man has had due process, and if they bring him back, they're going to have to send him somewhere else. I just disagree with that statement.
All right, well, we have much more ahead.
All right, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think about everything that was said here. I read just about all the comments. Please like the video. Please subscribe. It really helps the channel. And I'll catch you in the next. And actually, one thing before I finish. I can't believe I almost forgot this. Trump pardoned the white nationalists. Trump is the party of we will not be replaced. He talked about reparations for the proud little boys that stormed the Capitol. This is why, to me, these people lose all credibility. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there, and I'll catch you in the next one.